January and sort of started shooting the beginning of February. And for many of us, because of the pandemic, it was the first time we were gathering with people. And to be able to do that in Hawaii, which just has such love, and, you know, the crew is all local folks. And it was really, really special to sort of, after so long apart in our rooms and on Zoom, to come together and make this show. And, you know, one of the things that's always been important to me as we were crafting this is, you know, I didn't want Hawaii to be a postcard. You know, you could just a pretty thing in the background. I wanted to sort of dig more into what it's really like to live there and who these people are. You know, in the pilot, Benny throws an octopus in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Which is something my Uncle John in real life, you know, he found an old washing machine on the side of the road, like you do, and he fixed it up and he would throw his octopus in there. And it was great because there was some folks on the crew. Brian Keolano came up to me, who's a great, you know, he's a fantastic director in and of himself. He did stunts on the show. He directed a second unit for us. He's fantastic. And he came up to me and he was like, I read this pilot. When I saw that washing machine, I was like, oh, wait, this is for real. Like, this girl, he's like, I had a friend who had I was like, yeah, it's like a real, you know. And so it was really fun to, you know, and we all, the crew, everybody, we sort of came together and had these little specifics that hopefully help make it feel special.
I think she just needs room to make mistakes, like all teenagers. I'm afraid she's missing out.
I grew up on Oahu, and it's always a fond memory. You know, Oahu is beautiful. You know, it's just so many things we did as kids. You know, running around that island, just every nook and cranny of that place. So, the Doogie Kamealoha show is the longest project I've had in Hawaii. Even though I was, you know, raised here and everything, it was very enlightening, actually, because I had never spent that much time. I did a little indie for about 18-day shoot, you know, here on the Big Island. But that's been the extent of it. I mean, with the, you know, a few spots here on 5-0, but, you know, those are like 4 days or something. Yeah. So this was like definitely like an immersion into, like, you know, working here. And I was very proud of you know, being able to do that that was offered. So it was fun, and it was such a different character than what I'm used to doing, and you know, taking a little step into sort of a comedic role, and and then, you know, everything about it was refreshing.
Somebody help! Out of the way! You two, keep everyone back. I'm here to help you. This looks like a tension pneumothorax. I need to borrow this. Sorry.
You saved it. Who is this kid? My daughter, the doctor.
The main thing that originally drew me to this project was the way Kourtney Kang, our creator, approaches telling the story of a girl stuck between two worlds, you know. 'Cause I'm not obviously in real life a teenage doctor, but I am a teenage actor. And so I definitely think I have a unique insight into what it feels like to be a young person in a professional setting, and sort of having those two worlds colliding in a sense, you know, being a teenager and dealing with growing up and crushes and friendships and family dynamics. And then also, you know, being in a professional setting, you know, for Lahela, it's being in the hospital and having these adult responsibilities and these adult pressures being put on her. And for me, you know, I go and work on a set, which is an adult dominated environment, and sort of rising to that and acting like an adult, but then also recognizing that you are still a child and being able to sort of enjoy your youth, you know. And so being pulled between those two worlds and trying to find yourself somewhere in the middle is something that I definitely have been navigating for quite some time now, and Lahela definitely is navigating. And Kourtney sort of approaches it all from a perspective that felt very truthful to my experience. And so that was definitely, I think, what originally drew me to the project.
stopped on a cruise ship like most people. and then I did do a longer stint in vacation in Maui at one point. But this was a dream to be able to spend 5 full months in, on Oahu and, really kind of get to know it and experience it. That was amazing. Yeah, I hadn't gone anywhere for a year. And then they were like, you have to go to Hawaii. And I was like, okay. But it's gender swapped. So it's a female. And then her mother is her boss. Also that she's biracial. She comes from a mixed race family, and it's set in Hawaii. So there were all these amazing boxes that it ticked to not just make it another reboot. They really reimagined the idea of this story. They took like the main character and what they do, which is like a teenage prodigy, and then placed her in a completely different setting, changed her gender, did all this stuff, which I thought was it's a really smart way to reboot something. That was the biggest attraction for me, was like, oh, this is not just like, let's just do the same thing over again. Let's do this so that what would happen if it's a different culture, if it's a different place, if it's a completely different vibe. And I love that. I think that's really smart, because you don't have to have been a fan of the old show to really fall in love with this show.
One of the things I'm really proud of is a lot of times shows or movies come to Hawaii, and when they shoot, they hire department heads from LA, and then the people below them are local people. And what we really sought to do is have local people lead the departments and have them be the people who make the decisions about hair and wardrobe and props. And it's great because they all kept us honest and really helped hone in to make this feel like a real local family. One of the things I love, Lahela on her scrubs has the sort of like aloha print, trim. And that came from our wardrobe folks in Hawaii who were like, oh, I've seen girls do this. This is like a great way for her to spruce it up and, feel authentic to what a 16-year-old girl would do in Hawaii. And so it's been, it starts from our writer's room, and then it really is a labor of love with everyone.